Hi there everybody, this is Andy from Skilz4umedia and this is video number 2 of our Create the Classic Arcade game Pong using HTML, JavaScript and CSS. Hopefully you enjoyed the video number 1 and have learned something new, but please subscribe to the channel after watching each video as it really helps us out. Thank you. Why hello everybody and welcome back to video or tutorial number 2 on how to create the 80s classic game called Pong. So in part number 1 we set up our 3 files, the JS file, the HTML file and a CSS file, and we just started actually putting content into our JS file to load up the game. So we're going to go back to where we started off with a window on load function, which we were going to go and point towards a start game function to kick off the game. Okay, so what I've done there is it's actually calling a start game function. Now, how are we going to call the function? First of all, we need to actually write the function. So first of all, I'm going to type in function and making sure that I've typed out start game correctly. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to grab the canvas. So we're going to put in here canvas. So this is referencing up here. It's at the moment it's undefined. I'm going to put in here document dot element by ID, and then we're going to go in here. I'm going to grab this. Okay, so I'm grabbing that, and then our semicolons at the end, and then from here ctx equals. So here we're going to get canvas. So I'm referencing this variable get context. We're going to do this in 2D and type in there 2D. Okay, now what we're going to do is we need to listen for keystrokes or key down or key up, you know, when you're pressing a key. So from here I'm going to type in here document dot add event listener, and we're looking for a key down event. Really important to get these things, type these things correctly. So this is basically listening, or the browser actually listening for a key down event, i.e. you're pressing a key. And then from here you need a function, what's going to happen when you actually press that key. So I'm going to type in here function that we need to go to when we actually press that key. So I'm going to type in there key down pressed, and I'm going to set to false. Right, and I'm just going to copy that again because we need to also a function of, well, what happens when there's a key up event, i.e. when you release that key. So we're going to type in there key up. And we're just going to put in there key up rest. And then last of all, after it's listened to that, we're going to start the game loop. So I'm going to go point towards game loop. So again, this is another function that we need to write together, which will be all to do with the general game loop of going through all the different functions through the game. That totally didn't make sense, did it really? No. Okay, so from here we need a function called game loop. So I'm going to actually quickly test. Going to test that. So I'm going to just write the function called game loop. How are we doing anyway? We keeping up right now? Yeah, looking good anyway. So from there, game loop, I'm just going to test to make sure that there wasn't any errors in that last section. So again, I'm going to go to my, open up the file on my computer, just click a refresh. Okay, so it's saying there's an error at 25. Okay, so I'm looking to see why there is an error at 25. Variable, okay, so constant variable. Okay, so I'm just going to change that at the top. Hopefully that will, there we go. Number 27, so 27 I've got an error as well. Document add event listener key down. That's because we probably don't have a key down event. Is not defined. Document is, okay, so it looks like there's a spelling mistake there. That's why it's really important as well when typing these things out as well, to make sure that you spell things correctly, otherwise you have errors. 27 is not defined. Okay, so to try and clear out these ones, these errors here, what I'm just going to do is create some functions. Just create a function. We can go back and complete them in a minute. So I'm just going to type in key down event there. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing with the key up. Okay, so hopefully, look at that, perfect, we're on track, we're on track. So what I went and did there is, because I went and put these functions and I hadn't actually written them, it was actually causing error. So we can go in and fill the key down events a little bit later on. But first of all, a couple of things we need to do is we need to create the game loop. So I'm going to place the game loop down the bottom here for the time being. Okay, so game loop in here, I'm going to put a timestamp, and also we also need to make sure as well that we've got a clear game. So obviously when you're actually doing a good game, it's multiple, it's like a cartoon, because you've got lots of different pictures or different images going on the screen one after the other. So what we need to do is have a clear game function, i.e. it clears the canvas, otherwise you're going to have multiple images on the same canvas and not clearing. So I'm also going to write a function called clear game. Clear game, and got time loop, and we want update function draw game. So we're going to put all the drawing. Update game. Okay. Update game. It's early in the morning, so that's why I'm kind of rushing a little bit here, and we're making a couple of mistakes as we go along as well. Okay, so from here, what we need to do is we need to really complete this the start game loop, and we also need to complete the draw game and the update game. So first of all, we're going to sort out the game loop. So within the game loop, so this is going to be repeating over and over again, cycling through these various different functions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that function at the top, I'm going to place it in there. So clear game, so that's going to clear the canvas, and then we're going to draw on the canvas. So I'm going to copy that as well, making sure I've got semicolons at the end, otherwise it's going to error. And again, made a slight error there. Okay, then go to update game. Like so. Then finally, we need that to keep looping round. So I'm going to type on here, window request, or should I say window dot request animation. Request animation frame. Request animation frame. And then we're going to go put in there game loop. Okay, so hopefully, just going to put an alert in there so it should fire off if I've got this correct. So I'm just going to put test, like so. Cool, so that actually works. Okay, so that's what's that doing is it's looping through. So let me just explain. So we've got clear game, so that's going to be our function up here, which is going to clear the canvas, and then we've got here draw game, so it's going to draw on the canvas, and then update game will be like the movement or updating game. So when you're pressing a button, that's what it's doing, it's updating game, and then window request animation frame basically is going through all of this function over and over and over again. Okay, so just quickly run through. So we learned about, so we've got on here, we've defined our canvas, the width and height. Up top here we got the canvas and the CTX, the context, the game frames, the speed. We got the players up, down, left, or should I say up and down pressed. And then when the window actually opens, it goes to the start game function, and the start game function is grabbing the canvas. It's looking for key up events and key down events, and it's going on to the game loop. And then once it's into the game loop, that's where we're into the game part. So it's clearing the canvas, drawing the game, updating the game, and then it's going around in a loop back to this point here. So the next part of the tutorial, we need to be looking at key down events, key up events, and putting the functionality for the clear game and drawing game. Okay, so that's tutorial number 2. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of that. Please hit the subscribe button if you enjoyed that. I'll look forward to the next video. Thanks a lot for watching. See you on the next one.